Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another delayed episode of reviews/reactions to MyStreet. Today we are reacting to Empowering a Demon, which is episode 2 of MyStreet When Angels Fall. And hopefully this will come out in sometime in the future, because now I've got an hour and a 35-minute video to do, and a 42-minute video to do. What joy. So how's everyone else's weekend? Anyway, enough of that, because this video is slightly shorter. And hopefully I will get a bit more to the point this time. I think that was my mistake last time. So anyway, without further ado, let's begin.
I don't care if it's free. We should be allowed to go.
I actually like the fact that they're giving voices to the extras, and that's the way they start off the episode. In fact, they did that last time. Remember the guy who died? Yes, that one. He was the first person to speak in the entire season. So, you know what? It just shows that not everything is focused on the protagonists, you know? There's things that, you know, relate to other people who are caught in the crossfire. It's nice to see that highlighting. Anyway, speaking of people with highlights, let's go on to Caitlin, and of course Travis.
Used the last of the body wash last night. Soap is becoming harder and harder to find.
That brings up a good question actually about the body wash and the soap. Do they not get supplies? Because obviously the GFs shoot everything down indiscriminately by the looks of things. So what gives? Do they not supply the guest with anything anymore? Because that seems a little harsh. I mean, obviously this whole process is harsh, but even by their standards, you think that they would, you know, give them something. Good grief.
Caitlin? This is just wrong. I told you buying that extra body wash was going to save us in the long run. Not that. But I did a good thing, right?
No. Yes. Yes, you did, Travis.
What's wrong, baby?
It's the fact that we're being forced.
Look at that. See? He called her baby and it didn't warrant a punch to the face. Again, a lot of people in the comments have been mentioning that.
Stayed on this island. The fact that the house where Aphmau was staying was ransacked and we don't know where anyone is.
Caitlin, I understand your frustrations, but you know, the Ultima.
No, I am tired of hearing that excuse. They can't just feed that to us anymore and expect that we're okay with being detained because of a theory.
So both of them consider it to be a theory. I mean, I remember that it was the demon within Travis that told Caitlin originally about the Ultima werewolf, off camera, of course. But yes, so it appears that both of them consider it to be a theory. So Travis is, of course, aware of the myth himself. So it probably was passed down not by his demon, but by his dad, possibly? I mean, obviously his dad has tie-ins with Derek, so why not?
We deserve answers.
You're right.
Travis, I want to get off this island.
I do too. Then what are we sitting around for? We could just be like everyone else and complain, or we could do something about it.
Like everyone else, who are complaining, and that's what they do about it. I mean, seriously, watch the next the scene where they actually end up going to. All they end up doing is going to the docks. There's a bunch of people complaining. That's it. The line loses a bit of efficiency, but I get what Travis meant. He wants to actually take action, not like the people behind there who are just being very submissive about it, albeit getting the protagonism that, you know, the attention that they kind of deserve, I guess, as extra.
Let us through!
You can't keep us here.
Remain calm. If you cooperate and calm down, the easier this will be.
You mean the more they cooperate and calm down, the easier it will be? Or if you cooperate and calm down, this will be easier?
To leave!
played so far.
Travis?
Excuse me, pardon me.
This series holds a bit of nostalgia to me because I was once actually held in an airport, not by myself, by the way. I didn't get arrested or anything like that. It was just because the flight got severely delayed, so I was there with my family, you know, my brother and my parents, and we were trying to get back because I had school the next day, and we were held there until 11, which I think was a 5-hour delay, and people were complaining in both English and Spanish because we were in Spain at the time, trying to get back to England. So yeah, eventually we did get on the flight. We didn't get a proper explanation or anything, but everyone was complaining, myself included. I was 12. It was very interesting. And then, you know, we ended up going to my grandmother's house who lived near the airport. I didn't go to school the next day. Instead, I got up fairly late and played Minecraft. Why not? And here I am watching a Minecraft scene reflecting that time of my life. What have things come to?
Excuse me? Excuse me. Hey, metalhead! Huh? You guys got a lot of nerve asking us to cooperate. We've been more than gracious just accepting the fact that we're being held here against our will.
You're being held here for your safety.
Our safety? You call forcefully going through our places safe?
Watch your mouth. You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Nor do you guys, actually, to be fair. I mean, you're running on a theory, but... a true theory, albeit, but... their depiction of the Ultima, as you find out later, is very misconstrued, so technically that statement reflects more on them.
Is that a threat?
Maybe it was.
What? You don't threaten her.
Okay, here's where I'm interested. I've said this before. Travis was blown up, flung across the sky, crash landed in Love Love Paradise, and also fell off a building, all in the same day. And yes, he lost consciousness only after the building incident. So how does he get knocked out so easily now? Do you see what I mean when I say there's something slightly off about these characters in this season? I don't quite know why it is yet, but there's something that's not the same.
Travis!
No music. An odd and silent moment. Focusing everyone in more on the detail. Nice. Good call.
Worthless. What? You couldn't even stand up for her, let alone defend yourself. You belong down there in the dirt. Where I belong.
Travis?
A pathetic excuse for a Valkyrie. A complete waste of oxygen.
Oh, come on, don't be so harsh on him. Besides, you're breathing the same oxygen as he is, mate. I'm just wondering. I think this is why we get the demon is a recent addition to Travis, because otherwise he would have been more featured. People say that this is a thing from his past, but I'm not sure if it actually is, because otherwise we would have seen something like this when he got knocked out in Season 2. I mean, maybe, obviously, this wasn't a concept in Season 2, so that was basically impossible, but for the most part, Aphmau is careful to make sure that all the pieces fit together in these stories, dropping Easter eggs from different places to another. For the most part, obviously there's an occasional slip up every now and then, like with the memory loss thing, but other than that, I don't see this being a permanent feature in Travis, at least not as much anyway.
I can help you. Huh?
Travis!
Huh?
Travis! Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I'm surprised Caitlin didn't even beat up the guard. I mean, normally it's the other way around. Normally Travis gets hurt and then Caitlin defends him. Look at the guy in the back there. Praise the Lord. Anyway.
I'm gonna make you regret.
Try it, love.
She can take them. She can take all three of them very easily. I don't care if they're wearing armor. She can do it.
Come on, Travis. Let's go.
But you'll pay. Anyone else?
Bravo team, come in.
Bravo team reporting. There have been reports of resident restlessness. Any issues down at the dock?
Eric. Which means that nearby we're gonna find...
If you hurt her, so help.
The captain is simply asking us some questions. Relax.
There we go. There she is. Hi, Sylvana. She's not going to be happy at all, is she?
Hey there. Can I get you anything? Water?
That actually is a very classic interview technique, which shows that they've done their research. My question is, why are they just interviewing her now? Hasn't it been weeks since this whole thing happened? I mean, you'd think that... I don't know. Maybe they just apprehended them very recently. Maybe they were careless but were originally part of the operation. That actually sounds like it could be a realistic scenario. You never know.
Snack, perhaps?
Why am I here?
Straight to the point, eh?
Why am I here?
Fine. Where is your daughter?
What?
Where is your daughter?
Even if I did know, what makes you think I'd tell you?
So she doesn't know, which probably means she was apprehended before that happened. Or they split up.
Are keeping us here against our will.
And for good reason.
What reason could that possibly be? That rumor about the Ultima? You know it's a fairy tale. I don't know why you're wasting your time here.
Tell me, do you know why people fear the Ultima? Shadow emerged. The glare of red eyes had met them face to face. It was the Ultima. The monster began to rip the Guardian forces apart, one by one. It wasn't until one soldier looked the Ultima in the eyes, he became engulfed in pain, yet in sheer desperation, managed to strike the monster and spare his comrades at the cost of his life. He was my grandfather.
I don't buy that story at all. This is gonna be one of the interview techniques again. They guilt you into thinking the thing that they're looking for is real. They have an idea of what it is, and they just do that. I don't buy it. I'm sorry, but you'll have to do a little better than that, my friend. Like, I don't know, try saying, I don't know, how I got these scars, because you have scars on your face. Say that they were from an Ultima scratch. I mean, he doesn't know that Sylvana knows who the Ultimas are. He could just basically tell her anything. I mean, why not? Save him the time. I don't believe that story. At least not at the moment, anyway. I don't buy it.
The captain of the Guardian forces at the time.
I'm sorry.
My family has sworn to protect this world from forces that would destroy it. The Ultima is real, and a real danger. It's a force of pure destruction, and it will kill without hesitation. It has happened many times in the past, and it will happen again. If your daughter is with this monster, it is only a matter of time until she's hurt or killed.
Oh, come on, you can't be acting worried like that. She can obviously pretend this isn't the case. I mean, look, She looks like she's terrified for Aphmau's life. I mean, that's great if she's acting that, but how is that going to benefit? Is she going to give them a red herring? If she does, I'll be very impressed, by the way, but if not, then why on earth are you worried? Anyway.
So tell me, where is your daughter?
Commercial break.
I never thought I'd have to use this again. You said we were done when we sealed him away the first time. You said he couldn't escape.
Wait a minute. Every time there's been some sort of muffled or whispered thing, there's always a way of identifying it. I'm going to have to look at this episode later and then figure out what's going on and which voice that is in Derek's head. Also, there's so many supernatural elements in these characters now. It's kind of hard to believe. MyStreet started off as the modern and realistic version of Minecraft Diaries, and yet here we are, descended into this whole plot of magic and werewolves and Ultimas and everything. I always find it so impressive how this series has evolved. I think this moment is kind of one of the staples of that. Not a very big staple, but a staple nonetheless.
Just try to avoid eye contact with people. I find a lot of people stare at me, and it makes me really nervous.
So people actually get a look at your face then, do you? Do they? Yeah? That's the problem.
Sir, is it true Starlight has been shut down?
Absolutely. The safety of our guests comes first and foremost, which is why all unauthorized boats both coming to and leaving out of Starlight have been suspended until further notice.
It's also why I'm mysteriously not on Starlight and broadcasting this in front of interviewers who would not be there asking me if Starlight weren't shut down if they knew it was shut down in the first place. Oh, the interesting ideas and developments. Remember this point for the end of the episode.
My hope is that this all ends safely for everyone involved. If this broadcast is being watched by the Ultima, I ask that he turn himself in before anyone else gets hurt.
He's actually quite confident in himself, isn't he? Clearly he knows he doesn't need to formulate a more complex plan than this one. Just needs to bide his time. That's actually kind of brilliant.
It's a trap. How long can we keep running? They want an Ultima.
Two things. One, no duh, it's a trap. Two, you're not the slightest bit phased that Michael, your old business associate and now enemy, is the owner of the park that you booked to get away from the snake-eyed man and the plan from before. Does that not shock you? At least a bit. If it doesn't, why did you book Starlight? You could have said, no, it was too dangerous. Or, yes, but we can only be here for a certain amount of time before, something bad happens. No, that's not what happened at all, is it?
You there? You've been awfully quiet.
My mind is hazy. I can't stop thinking about him.
Not again.
Something I forgot. Something important. Something.
We get to see Ghost in a more clear light at this point. Now obviously I've already theorized about who Ghost actually is. Clearly she doesn't have the elf ears that Zoe did. So it's quite possible that theory was wrong. I mean, I'm not too surprised, to be honest. I mean, it was a bit of a stretch reviving a character that's not been present this entire time. But then who? Because Emmeline obviously wears glasses and doesn't wear that uniform anyway. The thing. So if we are going back to Minecraft Diaries, which it looks like we are, then is she a completely different person? Is she a new character? Because that's what it seems like.
Don't. Ghost? Who are you? Man, both stores just opened and people are already in line for supplies.
That's why I'm here, right?
Oh, right. Sorry. Brain fart there.
Alright then. I'll go this store, and you go the other.
Got it.
Is that Casey? Casey, what are you doing there?
Excuse me, miss? I believe you dropped this?
Now, all Lucinda has to do here is say, "Oh yes, thank you, sir. I shall be on my way now." All she's doing is collecting supplies. He doesn't need to follow her. However, what does she do instead to not draw attention to herself? Well,
Miss?
why, she runs like a pansy, of course. Because what else are you going to do in that situation? Oh my word. I will say it does result in a pretty good chase scene. But that's it. That's the only advantage of it. And get some more animation later on. Like, let me show you the animation. Oh yeah, and the music, actually. That's a good point. I forgot about the music. The music is amazing in this part.
Aphmau. Thank you.
I want to use that music in something. I actually wanted to create my own spy series, actually, not inspired by MyStreet, but instead actually inspired by a video that I made as part of Decaday. If you don't know what Decaday is, congratulations, you're not one of 10 people who was subscribed to me at the time. It was because I made a video during that called La Gente Verde, which also means green people. And in that one, I played a character who wanted to create a series of unofficial spies to try and track down an official spy group that was eventually found out was trying to take over the world. Now, I wanted to bring this character back. And I want to, because I'm. If you want, I'll try and find the video. If you want it, links is in the description. I'll probably put it on the end screen of this video as well. But yeah, basically it was kind of a spur of the moment improvisation that I did before that video, and then I tried to bring it back unsuccessfully. So this time I might as well transform it into a fully fledged series. I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, for now, let's carry on.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. Just
back to the hotel.
Anyway, so there you go. If you want a cat plushie that was advertised in the middle of this episode, then fair, go ahead. So yes, remember the scenes that I asked to remember in this episode, and also the scene with the map, where one person is committing one fatal flaw with their disguise. Because that will be revealed in the next episode of both this review series and of MyStreet Season 6. But as for now, until next time, farewell.